After her husband's funeral, Eleanor was clearing out his side of the closet and found the suitcase he'd packed to leave her. Shirts, his good shoes, his passport, the watch his father gave him, and tucked into the side pocket, a bus ticket, one way, 400 miles away, dated for the Tuesday after the heart attack that killed him. There was a note. Started, not finished. 3 words, "I'm not coming." For 8 months, she lived with that. 8 months of grieving a man she couldn't forgive and couldn't understand why, because she had no reason. Only the suitcase, only the ticket, only 3 unfinished words. Then she put his wedding ring in her coat pocket. She walked across town to a street the city had forgotten to modernize. She came into my shop and set the ring on my counter. "Tell me he loved me," she said. I already knew this ring was going to cost me. They always do. I should say, I'd been looking at the door all afternoon. I don't know why. I just kept looking. And then she came in, and the ring went on the counter, and I stopped. That's probably not connected to anything. I tell her I don't do that. I mend things, clocks, lockets, the hinge on a music box. I don't read people's lives off a piece of gold. She doesn't move. Her hand stays flat over the ring, pressing it into the wood, like it might get up and walk away if she lets go. "Please," she says. "Everyone else just lies to me. The grief counselor lies, my sister lies, my own children lie, and they're not even good at it. I'm the one person who won't. That's the whole problem with me." So I look at her instead of the ring, because the ring is already humming at me from under her palm, and I'm not ready for it yet. Tired in a way sleep doesn't fix, and on her own finger, a pale band where a ring used to be. "What's your name?" I ask her. "Eleanor." "Eleanor." I let it sit. People like hearing their names from a stranger. It makes them feel found. "Whose ring is this?" "My husband's." Her voice doesn't break. She's past breaking. She's into the part that comes after, the flat part, the part nobody warns you about. "Sam, he died 8 months ago. He was 47. I'm sorry." "Don't be." She finally lifts her hand off the ring. "A woman at my office said you helped her, with her mother's brooch. She said you told her something nobody else could have known, and after that she could finally..." Eleanor stops. Tries again. "She said you finished it for her, whatever it was. She said you'd know what I meant." I do know what she means. Here's what I can do, and I'll only say it once. I feel the truth in objects, not the facts. Anybody can have the facts. The thing underneath, what a person was carrying when they touched something and loved it or lost it or couldn't let it go. It stays in the object. Most people can't feel it. I can. I always could. And every time I do it, it takes something from me. A memory. Gone before I notice it's missing. "Eleanor," I say, "before I touch this, I can't promise you the answer you want. Only the true one. Truth and comfort are not always the same animal." "I know the difference," she says. "I've had 8 months of comfort. It's worthless." I almost smile. I like her. That's going to make this worse. "Tell me why you're really here," I say. The exact thing. Not did he love me. That's too big. Give me the splinter. The one you turn over at 3 a.m. She looks at the ring. Then she looks at me. And something in her face goes very still. The way water goes still right before it freezes. "After the funeral," she says, "I was cleaning out the closet, his side, and on the top shelf behind the winter coats, there was a suitcase, packed, fully packed. Shirts, his good shoes, his passport, the watch his father gave him. And tucked into the side pocket, there was a bus ticket. One way, to a town I've never heard of, 400 miles away, dated for the Tuesday after he died. The word Tuesday lands in the room, and I feel my own skin go cold because I haven't touched the ring yet, and I can already hear it. A man's voice, low. I'll be back Tuesday. I keep my face flat. I've had practice. There was a note, Eleanor says. Started, not finished. 3 words. I'm not coming. That's all he wrote, I'm not coming. And then nothing. He died 3 days before that ticket. Heart. In his sleep, they said. Like that's supposed to be a mercy. She finally lets it out, the thing she came to say. So for 8 months, I have been the widow who cries at the grave of a man who was about to leave her. 20 years I get told what a beautiful marriage we had. 20 years of people saying we were the lucky ones. And I'm the only one who knows he had 1 foot out the door and a suitcase full of his good shoes. Her jaw tightens. I don't want comfort. I want to know who I was actually married to. Because right now I can't even grieve him. I don't know which one I'm supposed to be grieving. And there it is. The splinter. Tell me he loved me was never the question. The question is, was any of it real? Or was I a fool for 20 years? That question I know from the inside. All right, Eleanor, I say. Sit down. This takes a minute, and I don't always look like I'm having a good time while it happens. She sits. I pull the lamp closer. I roll my sleeves, which is pure theater. But people need a little theater, or they don't believe you. Then I pick up the ring. The first thing is always the surface. The loudest thing. The thing the object wants you to know. And the surface of this ring is so warm and so bright that I have to breathe through it. Love. Just love. The ordinary kind. The kind that doesn't make the news. A kitchen. Yellow light. A younger Sam with flour on his hands, laughing at something. And Eleanor younger too, rolling her eyes at him the way you only roll your eyes at someone you've decided to keep. 20 years of small mornings. The ring soaked all of it up. Rings always do. They sit on the one hand that does everything. Cooking, holding, fighting, reaching across the bed in the dark. And they remember it all. He loved you, I say. And my voice comes out rougher than I want it to. Eleanor, the surface of this thing is so full of you, I can barely hold it. 20 years and it never went quiet. Whatever else is in here, that part is true. You weren't a fool. She makes a sound, not a sob, something smaller and worse. But there's more, she says. There's always a but. You wouldn't be making that face if there wasn't a but. She's right. There's a but. Because under the warm part, down where the object stops performing and starts confessing, there's the other thing. I close my eyes and go down into it. Cold now. The light changes. It's not the kitchen anymore. It's a corridor, long, too bright. That particular fluorescent white that only exists in 2 kinds of buildings, and one of them is a hospital. A man sitting on a paper-covered table. Sam, older than the kitchen, gray now at the temples. A doctor's mouth moving and no sound, the way it always is when the moment was too big for the person to keep the words. And then a number. Sam holding a number in his head like a stone in his fist. Months, not years, months. And after the months, before the end, a long, ugly middle that the doctor is describing with her hands. A middle where Sam stops being Sam. Where his heart can't carry him and his body forgets how to be a body. and someone has to feed him and turn him and clean him and watch the man they married disappear an inch at a time over a year. And Sam, sitting on that table, does the math. I feel him do it. That's the part that nearly puts me on the floor. I feel the exact moment he decides. Eleanor will not watch this. He won't let her spend a year as a nurse. He won't let her last memory of him be the worst one. He won't let we, or the lucky ones, curdle into. Do you remember how he was at the end? So he is going to do the cruelest, kindest thing a frightened man can think of at 4 a.m. He's going to leave. He's going to pack a bag and buy a one-way ticket and let her hate him. Because a woman who hates her husband for walking out moves on. She rages. She grieves the marriage. And then one day, she's free. But a woman who nurses her husband into the ground, that woman never gets up again. He'd seen it happen. To his own mother. I feel that too, way down at the bottom. A small boy watching his mother vanish into someone else's dying. So Sam chose. He was going to break Eleanor's heart on purpose, the small way, to save her from the heartbreak the big way. He was going to be the villain so she could survive being the widow. I'll be back Tuesday. That was the lie he practiced in the mirror. The one he was going to tell her on his way out the door so she wouldn't follow. I'm not coming. That was the truth he tried to write down and couldn't finish. Because how do you finish that sentence? I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back because if I stay, you'll have to bury me twice. And then, 3 days before the Tuesday, while the suitcase sat in the closet behind the winter coats, his heart simply stopped. The thing he was running from caught him in his sleep and did the leaving for him. He never got to be the villain. He just got to be gone. I open my eyes. The lamp is too bright. The shop is too quiet. My hands are shaking and the ring is hot against my palm, and somewhere up on the high shelf, in the corner, the watch I can never read is ticking. It does that sometimes. When I go too deep. It wakes up. It gets warm and it ticks, 3 or 4 beats, like it's answering something. And then it stops and I tell myself I imagined it. I did not imagine it. I set the ring down on the counter, very gently, the way you'd set down something that was still alive. Zoe, Eleanor says. She's gripping the edge of the counter. You've gone white. What did you feel? What did you feel? And here's where the job actually is. Not the feeling. Anyone could feel it. The job is what you do with it after. Because I could tell her the surface and stop there. He loved you. The end. Go in peace. Comfort. She'd take it and she'd never quite believe it. And the suitcase would sit in her chest for the rest of her life like a swallowed stone. Or I could give her all of it. The hospital. The math. The villain he was rehearsing. And risk that she hears only the first half. He was leaving and never makes it to the second. I think about that pale band on her finger where her own ring used to be. I think about 8 months of grieving a man she thought was a stranger. And I think, because I can't help it, because this is the part of the job nobody pays for, I think about myself. Because Eleanor is sitting here in genuine agony over whether she was loved for 20 years. And I would give anything to have her problem, to have 20 years to even doubt. I don't know if anyone ever loved me. Not a vague not knowing. A real one. A blank where the memory should be. Somewhere in the last few years, I reached down into someone else's broken thing and pulled up their truth. And the price that time was a piece of my own. And I will never know what it was, because the only proof is gone. At least Eleanor has a ghost to argue with. I have an empty shelf. So I'm not going to leave her with an empty shelf too. Not when I'm holding the truth in my hand. Eleanor, I say, I'm going to tell you all of it. And I need you to promise me you'll stay in the chair until I'm finished. Because the first half is going to feel like the worst day of your life, and the second half is the reason you came. She nods. Tell me. So I tell her. I tell her about the corridor and the fluorescent light and the number that was months, not years. I watch it hit her. The gasp, the hand to the mouth. He was sick. He never told me. He was sick and he didn't tell me. And I keep going, because if I stop now, she'll drown in it. I tell her about the long, ugly middle the doctor described. I tell her about his mother, the small boy watching her disappear. And I see Eleanor start to understand, slowly. The way the sky understands the sun is coming up, not all at once. Just a gray edge, then more. The suitcase, I say. The ticket, the note he couldn't finish. Eleanor, he wasn't leaving you for someone. He wasn't leaving you because the marriage was a lie. He was leaving you so that you would never have to watch him die. He was going to make you hate him. On purpose. He decided that your hating him for a year was survivable, and your nursing him for a year was not. He was going to be the worst thing you ever loved so that you could stand back up afterward. The flat is gone from her face now. Everything is moving in it at once. I'll be back Tuesday, I say gently. That was the lie. The one he was going to tell you at the door so you wouldn't come after him. I'm not coming. That was the truth. And he couldn't finish writing it. Because you don't get to finish that sentence, Eleanor. Nobody does. She's crying now. Finally. 8 months late. The good kind. The kind that means a door is opening, not closing. He didn't make it to Tuesday, I say. His heart took him first. So he never had to leave. He never had to be the villain. He just got to stay your husband, right to the end. He spent his last 3 days lying next to a woman he loved so much. He was about to ruin everything to protect her. That's what's in this ring. That's the truth. You were loved, Eleanor. Past the point of sense. Past the point where it was good for him. You were the lucky ones. You just didn't get to keep him long enough to find out why he had a suitcase. For a long time, she doesn't say anything. She just cries, with both hands over her face, and I do the only useful thing there is to do, which is nothing. I don't reach for her. I don't say there. I let her have it. Grief that's finally pointed in the right direction is a private thing, and you don't crowd it. When she comes back up, her face is wrecked, and somehow 10 years younger. He was such an idiot, she says, wet and laughing and furious all at once. He was such a... I would have stayed. I would have done every single day of it. Did he think I'd run? 20 years, and he thought I'd... He didn't think you'd run, I say. He thought you'd stay. That's exactly what he was afraid of. He couldn't stand to make you pay that price. So he tried to pay it for both of you. Badly. Men do that. They mistake taking the pain for sparing you the pain. They almost never ask. No, she says. He never asked. He never once asked me what I could carry. She wipes her face. God, I've been so angry at him. I've been standing at his grave furious. You can be furious, I tell her. Be as furious as you want. He earned it. Just be furious at the right man now. The one who loved you stupidly, instead of the one who left you. The second man never existed. You can let him go. There's nobody there. She picks up the ring, slides it back onto her own finger, over the pale band, where it sits a little loose now because grief takes the weight off you, whether you want it gone or not. "What do I owe you?" she says. People always ask that, and they never mean money. Not really. They mean, how do I carry what you just handed me? Mend something small for me one day, and we'll call it even, I say, which is what I always say, because the truth is, they've already paid me. I just can't tell them with what. She's at the door when she turns around. The bell over it is still swinging, and she says it. "Thank you, Zoe." That's all. "Thank you, Zoe." My name, said by a woman who walked in a stranger and is walking out lighter, the most ordinary thing in the world, and it stops me cold. Because I'm standing there, and I'm reaching for it. The last time someone said my name like that, like it meant something, like I was the one who'd been found, and there's nothing there. I go down the shelf in my head, year by year, looking for the last time my own name landed soft on me, and the shelf is empty, swept clean. I don't know when. I don't know who. I gave it away for somebody's brooch, or somebody's letter, or somebody's ring, and I'll never get it back, because the only proof it ever happened is the thing I traded. Eleanor gets to keep Sam. I can't even keep the sound of my own name. The door closes. The bell goes still. I stand in the empty shop and I do the only thing I know how to do about it. I open the notebook by the register and I write the date. And I write, "A woman named Eleanor, a ring. He was leaving so she wouldn't have to watch. Cost, don't know yet. Check the coffee." You have to write them down. If you don't write them down, you forget that you forgot. And that's the day you stop being a person and start being a whole that swallows other people's pain. I'm not there yet. I think I'm not there yet. I should explain about the notebook now that you've seen what it's for. I started it 3 years ago, around the time I started forgetting. It's the only defense I have. Every person I help, every truth I pull up into the light, I write down the date, the object, what I found, and a line at the bottom. Cost. Don't know yet. Because the cost always comes later, and it always comes quiet. A memory I won't notice is gone until I go looking for it one day and find the shelf empty. The notebook is how I keep score against myself. If I don't write them down, I forget that I forgot, and then I'm just a hole. My grandmother had one too. She could feel the truth in objects, same as me. So could her mother. We are not a lucky family. And there's one more thing in this shop you should know about, because it's going to matter. On the highest shelf, in the corner, there's a watch. A pocket watch. Old. Heavy. Silver gone dark at the seams. It is the one object in this entire shop that I cannot read. I pick up a stranger's wedding ring and a whole marriage pours into me. I pick up that watch, and I get nothing. Nothing except a pain behind my eyes, so sharp I have to put it down. And I know, I don't know how I know, but I know it the way I know to breathe, that I must never open it. That opening it would be the last thing I do. The certainty of that sits in my chest like a stone, and it has been there since I inherited this shop from my grandmother. I don't know what the watch is counting. I know it's counting something. I feel it sometimes. When I've paid a big price, when something important has gone, the watch gets warm, as if it's keeping score and the score is rising. The way it got warm tonight, when I went down into Eleanor's ring. I keep it on the highest shelf, so I don't have to think about it more than I already do. It doesn't help as much as I'd like. I'm closing up, lamp off, drawer locked. I'm heading toward the back room. I need to make coffee. My grandmother's way. The only recipe I have left of her. and find out what I've lost tonight when the bell over the door goes. We're closed, I say, without turning around. Come back tomorrow. I'll fix whatever it is. Hello, Zoe. A man's voice. And he says my name the way Eleanor said it, like it means something. Except worse. So much worse, because he says it like he's said it 1,000 times before. Like it's an old word in his mouth. Like he's relieved to find me here. The way you're relieved to find your keys exactly where you left them. I turn around. He's standing in the doorway with the dark street behind him. Tall. A coat that's seen weather. Maybe my age. Maybe a little older. With a face I have absolutely never seen in my life. And a way of looking at me that says he knows it down to the eyelashes. I don't know you, I say. And I'm reaching, the way I reached for my own name, going down the shelf. And the shelf is empty. But it's empty in a way that feels recent. The way a room feels when someone's just left it, and the chair is still warm. No, he says. Quiet, not surprised. Sad, almost, but braced for it. Like a man who's been told the bad news before and has gotten good at hearing it. No, you don't. Not anymore. You did once, a long time ago now. And on the high shelf in the corner, the watch I can never read starts to tick. He looks up at it. Of course he does. He knows exactly where it is. Don't open that watch, he says, quietly, but with the weight of someone who means every word. Don't let anyone open it. Promise me that much. Something in me goes very still. I have never told anyone about the fear I have of that watch. Not the watch itself, but the opening of it. It sits in me like a swallowed stone, that fear, and I have never once put it into words. That he knows is impossible. Who are you? My voice doesn't sound like mine. He reaches into his coat, slowly, so I can see, and he takes out a notebook. Not my notebook. His. It's twice as thick as mine. Worn soft at the corners. Full, I can tell from here, full to the last page of small handwriting. I'm the one who remembers, he says. So that someone does. Sit down. I'll make the coffee. I know how you take it, and I'm probably the only person left who does. He steps inside and closes the door behind him. He looks around the small shop, carefully, taking in where things are, then moves toward the back. He finds the coffee pot without asking where it is, but not immediately. He looks for it first, tries one shelf, then another. He's not pretending to know this place. He's learning it. That, for some reason, makes me trust him more than if he'd walked straight to it. How did you know about the coffee? I say. You always took it the same way, he says. His back is still to me. 2 sugars, a little cold water to cool it. You said hot coffee burned your tongue, and then you couldn't taste anything for an hour. I look at the back of his head and don't say anything. He turns around with 2 mugs, sets one in front of me. You were watching through the window? I've been outside for a while, he says, simply. No apology in it, no embarrassment, just the fact. I wasn't sure if tonight was the right time. And is it? He looks at me across the counter. Something in his face is very careful and very tired at once. A person holding something fragile they've been holding for a long time. I don't know, he says, but I'm here, and you're here, and the watch is ticking. He nods toward the shelf. That usually means something. I don't have an answer for that. He sets a mug in front of me. Coffee, my grandmother's way. 2 sugars and a little cold water. Exactly right. And I drink it. and it tastes like nothing. Warm, wet, the ghost of something that should be more. I set the mug down and look at it for a moment. I don't say anything. There's nothing to say about it yet. I haven't written it down, which means it isn't real yet, which means I can still sit here and drink coffee that tastes of nothing with a stranger who knows my name. I look up. He's watching me. Not the way people watch when they're waiting for you to speak. The way people watch when they already understand what they're seeing and are sorry for it. He doesn't say anything either. We drink our coffee in the quiet, and the watch ticks, and neither of us says anything for a while. That should be strange. It isn't. I don't know when I fall asleep. One moment I'm holding the mug, looking at the green glass shade of the lamp. And the next, there's nothing. Just the particular dark of a sleep that comes when the body has had enough of a very long day. I don't feel him carry me to the back room. I don't hear him find the bed, pull back the curtain, lay me down. I don't feel the blanket he puts over me. And I don't hear the question he asks the sleeping girl before he leaves. He stands in the doorway of the back room for a moment, looking at her, at me. And then he says something very quietly into the dark. Did you ever think about what was there before the shop? The clocks tick, all of them slightly out of step. The watch on the high shelf says nothing. He leaves. The bell goes still,